Hey, this is Cahill, host of the Let's Talk About It podcast. This podcast is about motivating and inspiring professionals in the beauty industry. If you like this podcast, make sure you subscribe and enjoy the interview. What's up, everybody, man? This is Cahill Bryant, Kthebarber, with the Let's Talk About It podcast. I have a special guest today, my boy Steve Gray. I've been knowing this guy for a long time. You know, I didn't see him elevate from just working as a regular contractor. Now he owns his own business called the Cali Coast. He actually have his own apprenticeship program called Cali Coast Apprenticeship. And what else you got, bro? You said a mentorship program?
I have a mentorship. It's called the Youth Barber Academy.
Youth Barber Academy. And he's just about to launch this barber brand called the Barber Brand.
Barber Brand, baby.
Man.
Hard work, passion, dedication.
Man, I'm excited for this interview, fam. I really am. It's been a long time coming. I've been seeing your progress, like I was just saying, and you know, especially just being a black man out here in San Diego, family, it's really, really good to see black entrepreneurs to do big things in San Diego, because we're only 6% of the population out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, bro, like, tell me a little bit about your motivation behind everything that you do.
My motivation, man. I just been the type, honestly, bro, just to keep grinding. I don't ever want to end up on these streets. You know, when I first told my parents I wanted to become a barber, I basically told myself I wanted to be the best barber that I can be. I didn't know it was going to turn into all of this, but I just trust the process and just kept it pushing, kept moving. You know, I'm very creative.
Right.
So
as we can see,
whatever comes to mind, I try. You know, not everything that I've created or thought of I've done, but most of it I've tried to accomplish it. So.
No, I feel you. Like, as long as you try, I think that's like the most important thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for myself, like owning a barbershop to, you know, even going to being an educator at a barber school, you know, these are the things that I've tried in my career. And I think as long as you try, and it's going to help you be a better entrepreneur,
right?
And in the process, I think that's like the most important thing, right? Like, if you sit back in the background and you never try, how else can you go forward? You know,
how could you?
You know. And so, how long have you been in the barber industry?
Man, I've been in the game for about 18 years now, man. And that time flew. I started at barber school back in 2005. 2005 on to now, I've always been a barber. Never worked another job. Never looked back.
Right. What school did you go to? What barber school?
I went to ABC. Barber College downtown, man. I know you went there, right?
Classic barber school.
Yeah.
It's the smallest ABC, right? Like, I went there in 2003. And I remember, like, that was the only school in San Diego.
Right.
Did you go? Was it the only school, or
it was the only school?
Right. You know what I mean?
They didn't have apprenticeship programs. I don't even think Paul Mitchell had a barber program across the street at the time.
Like, they were the only barbering anything in San Diego.
We were the only known ones. Yep.
And then now it's like blown up to be this big thing and stuff like that, you know. But I was waiting like a year and a half. I waited like a year and a half just to get into that program. I don't know about you, man, but it was kind of crazy.
Well, they told me it'll take like about a year.
Yeah.
But I already had my money ready, and I just
showed them. Like, bang.
I showed them the money. I was like, I could pay in full.
Right.
And they was like, hey, come on in. Hey, you can start in a month or two. So that's how I got in, bro.
Man, I wish I would have thought like you back then, because I know I waited some time, you know, went to school and tried to, you know, be a businessman, entrepreneur. I always had that mindset, like, growing up, you know, since 15 years old, I always wanted to, like, own something.
Exactly.
You know? And but yeah, man, it's been a journey, like you said. You know, it's 18 years in the game, and you own this beautiful establishment called Cali Coast. You know, how'd that come about within your journey?
Yeah, it was a journey. So back in about 2008, 2009, my pastor, he had a barbershop called Mr. C's, and when I got out of barber school, he wanted me to take over his establishment, which he had over like 40 years. And at that time, I wasn't ready at all. You know, I couldn't imagine myself being the owner of a shop, or even taking that responsibility, you know. So once I got married, my wife, she really encouraged me, like, you say that you want to be the man, you say you want to have a business, then, you know, this is a great opportunity for you. So back in 2008, I took over Mr. C's Barbershop, and he retired out. And I took my guy, I know you know Russell, we both went over to that shop, took over the neighborhood in Emerald Hills, and we had about maybe 3 to 4 chairs, you know, that we can sit. But we ended up having, you know, a couple of barbers there, and then Cam came over once his shop closed down. And I was like, man, we're gonna have to expand, you know. Even though I only had a little bit of barbers, I just saw a vision, you know, like I need to start my own thing, you know.
Right.
And so this shop that you're in right now, it just became available. Somebody posted on Black San Diego that they were selling a barbershop, and it was just timing, you know. And I came, checked it out, liked the area because I was familiar with Lemon Grove, and started Cali Coast Barbershop, man, and things just have been working out ever since. Yeah.
I like the name.
Yeah.
Cali Coast Barbershop.
Cali Coast
I'm a Cali dude. That's maybe why. I'm
Yeah.
biased, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're from California as well?
I'm from Cali, San Diego.
Born and raised. Cali Coast. So why Cali Coast?
Man, I knew you was gonna ask that question.
All the names that you could have
Right.
chosen from.
So people ask me that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, how did I come up with Cali Coast? What does Cali Coast mean? It means Cali Coast. That's what it means. It didn't really mean anything to me. So what happened was, when this shop was available to buy, everything in here, I only had 2 weeks to think of a name. And so what I do, and same thing I do with my other businesses, I write down just a bunch of names that come to my mind. And then those names, I match them together.
Okay.
So I wrote down Cali, I wrote down Coast, I wrote down a ton of other names. And then I prayed about it, I slept on it, and Cali Coast just clicked. And only thing I wanted was my shop to, you know, sound diverse. You know, I didn't want, even though we're predominantly black, I didn't want it to be just a black barbershop. You know what I mean? I wanted to bring diverse clientele into the shop. So that's why I came up with the name Cali Coast, and then I had a vision in my mind about the logo, and I love palm trees, bro. I love palm trees.
Well, that's a Cali thing,
yeah,
right?
It's a Cali thing. So I was like, if I have whatever logo I have, it has to have palm trees, bro.
Right.
So that's what happened, man.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's why I like it so much, man, because you got the whole Cali thing going on. You got the whole coast. You got the palm tree. I think it just fits San Diego, or just what California is all about. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's dope, bro. Like, so like how's business going for you?
Man, business is great, man.
Yeah.
I have a great team. We have a great environment, bro. And then we're really known in San Diego now.
Right.
So we kind of built that rapport now to really stay stable. You know?
Right.
So.
And we were talking earlier before everything started rolling, and I was telling you that I like the fact that like you're full, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can run it. You can go into some barbershops, and they have one or chairs not taken.
Right.
You know, they're vacant.
Exactly.
But like you're completely full, and one thing I was saying to you was that you did everything organically. Like you don't advertise a lot about it. You don't go on Instagram and say, you know, I'm hiring for this, I'm doing for that. Like you really just have like a great establishment.
Right.
So like, why is that? You know, because a lot of people pay a lot for marketing and advertisement to get their establishments full. Like how do you go about doing this without marketing as much? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I feel like that when you're a person of integrity, your environment reflects it. You know, I believe in high integrity and being honest, and especially with the people that work around me and my customers. You know, and so a lot of people see that and they want to be a part of it, and I don't feel like that has to be advertised. You know, people feel it and they tell other people about it.
Right.
So I kind of give a scenario like you look at McDonald's, you look at Jack in the Box. They all have commercials and stuff, right? But you look at it like In-N-Out or places like that. They have advertisement, but they don't have to push it on you. You know, they sell you the experience, the good customer service. You know, that makes you want to come back and feel like family. So that's what we do here. That's different from other barbershops, because a lot of barbershops, they just open up an establishment based off of the services that they do. Like, we're dope barbers, you know what I'm saying? So, come to us. I feel like you don't have to sell a good environment, you know what I'm saying? A good integrity type of environment. Yeah.
I think one thing about the barber industry is that, like, it's a word of mouth industry, you know? And so, like, if you have barbers that are comfortable inside your establishment, they're going to tell other barbers in the community as well, and be like, you know what, man, here, my man Steve, the owner of Cali Coast, is a stand-up guy. If you're looking for somewhere to start your career or just continue your career as an entrepreneur, this is the place to come to, you know. And so, like, integrity is everything. You know, that's dope, man, because a lot of people don't have integrity.
No, they don't.
In this industry.
They don't.
You know, a lot of people don't have integrity at all. They don't know how to spell integrity. And so that's good, man, because we need more people like that in this industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find it.
Right.
You said something about dope barbers, right, in your last statement. And we just happen to be wearing Dope Barber Brand.
The brand, yep.
This is your new brand that's about to come out, man.
It's the new journey, man, and I'm excited. You know?
Yeah. So Dope Barber Brand, man. Tell me the dream, tell me the vision about it. Like, how'd this come about?
So back in the pandemic, you know, I'm always being creative. You know, I'm always thinking of something to do. You know, because I know in this industry, you know, cutting hair and taking care of clients in the barbershop, I'm gonna tap out one day. So I was just like, I want to do something where it keeps me in the game, you know. And when I started, you know, out of high school, I was trying to go to fashion design, you know. I was gonna go to a fashion school, believe it or not, bro. And so
I had no idea.
So I've always been into clothes.
I've
always been into shoes, just the look of a person and just being stylish. And so I was like, man, it'd be really dope if I started something for barbers, you know, for the barber market. Even though, you know, you see a lot of people that sell t-shirts and stuff, but I was like, I want to come with a different approach. You know, I want to come like with that realness, that authentic feel that makes a barber feel like, one of my shirts says more than a barber, you know, because that's what we are. We're more than barbers. You know, we should think outside the box, because a lot of times, a lot of barbers don't think outside the box of just being a barber behind a chair. Like, there's so many avenues, and you know, you can take outside. You know, so Dope Barber Brand, it just wraps up in a whole about a barber. You know what I mean, and what they can really be. You know, like I used to cut hair. Now I started an apprenticeship program. Now I'm starting a clothing brand, a real clothing brand. Like, I'm trying to be up there, like where FUBU or something was. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So that's why you see, like, you know, the quality in the brand.
When I heard it, like you said, 2 years ago, you had the idea, and I know I seen you at an event. I don't know what it was called, but you had the shirt on. You're like, yeah, man, this is my barber brand. Like, you had so much pride about it, you know, and sitting to this day, 2 years later, and I'm thinking about, like, a person that wants to purchase your clothing line. It can be something that's like, you know what, you're a dope barber now, so you can rock this. I'm a dope barber. Or it could be something like, you know what, I want to be a dope barber one day. You know, and so we want to put this on too, like, catapult that vision as well. You know, is that sort of like what you was going with it as well?
I would say that, you know, being a dope barber, like I said, is more than a dope barber. So like, you're a dope father, right? You're a father that's a barber. You know what I mean?
Dope.
I'm a dope leader. I'm a dope instructor in my apprenticeship program as a barber. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dope husband as a barber. You know what I mean? So even though the brand says barber on it, the definition of dope barber can connect with anybody.
I like that.
You feel me? So the dope barber is just a definition of the person, you know. So they don't necessarily have to work behind a chair, because if you know, everybody is pretty much a barber. How many clients have you had that used to cut up their kids before they actually brought their kids to you? You know what I'm saying? But they were trying their best because, you know, maybe they didn't have the funds to come to a barbershop or something, but they wanted their kids to look decent in public or whatever. Right. So they're a dope barber, you know. But so that it's just a definition as a whole, and that's why I put hard work, passion, dedication. So you should stay hardworking, passionate, and dedicated to whatever you do in life. Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
To sum it up in a whole without confusing you.
Right. No. That's good. That's good,
yeah.
man. Because you just, my ideal of something could be somebody else's, could be different from somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
you put in perspective of that, and I hope, when people listen to this interview, that they go out and purchase your product, man. Because I really feel like what you just said, it speaks more, counterpose more value than what I really thought it was about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you said, we all are dope in some form or fashion. And you don't have to be a barber,
no,
right, to purchase this.
No, you don't.
Apparel as well.
Yeah.
You could be a dope school teacher.
Exactly.
A dope mechanic.
Right.
So I think that's even
just
better.
The dope barber,
Yeah.
The barber is just the platform. But the dopeness is in that person. You know what I'm saying? The dopeness is, you don't believe in yourself, you gotta find yourself so that I have a lot in me that needs to get out. I just gotta stop being afraid to show the world that who I am,
That's
so
dope.
yeah.
So you have a lot of things, like you have this barbershop, like we were talking about, you have an academy, and now you have dope Barber Brand that you're about to launch. Some people might ask, like, how do I start something like this? Where would I find the capital to actually begin a barbershop, a barber apparel, or even like a barber academy? What would you say to them?
I can only give you, my experience, so my mom, she worked at the bank, so she was really good at saving money. So just watching her, how she treated money, and I only have one brother, so I don't have no sisters, but they never spoiled me and my brother,
Right.
Even though they had not rich lifestyles, but they were kind of in the middle class, but they never spoiled us, and they showed us how to respect money, how to earn money, if you want it, you got to go get it, So I always followed that standard. And so I was really good at, when I got money cutting hair, I was good at saving some, giving some, and spending some,
That's good.
And, not a lot of people believe in the tithing, but, I definitely believe in giving God first his fruits, you know what I mean? Because he's the one that blessed me with it. So a lot of it is from him, but also being a man of integrity and being honest with my money, I pay my taxes,
Right.
I try to pay my bills on time, and those things just come back to you in the end, So that's how I was able to get this barbershop, because I had saved some money, and then for the rainy, or for the season when it was time to get the shop. So when it opened up, the door opened, I was ready to get it. I didn't have to get a loan or anything, So that's pretty much how I started a lot of the businesses that I began.
No, that's cool. Because in the barber industry, I know for myself, right? Like I would spend a lot of my money because I knew the next day I was gonna make a lot more money as well.
Yeah.
And so I never saved my bread, fam. Like it could be like the last week I got to pay my bills, and I knew how much money I was going to make during that week.
Exactly.
I would grind, hustle. I want to go out. I want to do anything, and then when it was time to pay that rent, I saved enough money to pay that rent.
Right.
Because it's a cash flow business back then.
Right.
Now we have credit card acquisitions, transactions, and Venmo, Cash App. We have different types of avenues of income, but
right.
it's sort of the same thing. You know, you get that Cash App transaction, and you might use that Cash App card and swipe to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good that you know, that's good to people to know, man. Like, it's good to, you got to save your money,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even if it's for your barbershop one day, or even just for like your future, for retirement.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing, as even if you're an older barber, you're like, dang, I'm 50 years old, I'm 30 years in the game, I don't even know where I want to go,
Right.
you know, or how I'm going to retire, how I'm going to get out of this rat race. You know, it's important that we specify like saving your money, right, will change like the trajectory of your life
Mm-hmm.
in the future, especially in the barber game, bro. Like it's really, really difficult to,
Right.
you know, sustain, you know, cutting hair, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for 40 years, you know.
Yeah.
Lower back starts hurting, your knees give
Yeah.
out on you, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I know you were saying earlier, that's something that you don't want to do, is like cut hair for like 30 or 40 or 50 years, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
my that's my idea, you know.
Yeah.
Because even growing up, used to have the OG barbers, you know, they're like 50 years old.
Yeah.
Or even some of the OG barbers
Right,
that are
right,
like
right.
70, 80 years old. And nothing's wrong with that at all. Nothing. If that's what you love to do, then stick to it, because what you love, it'll never feel like work, you
Right.
know.
Exactly.
We always hear that. But there's some that work that long just because they never tapped into what other creativity they had inside of them. You know what I'm saying? And I never had wanted to be that person where I never tried everything that I should have done, that I was good at, because you know, some people are given a bunch of talents, you know, and then some people are given those very few, but it's how you treat them, and are you going to take action to make it happen, you know? And I just happen to have a bunch of gifts in one industry that if I continue to move forward, it's going to show its benefits, you know what I'm saying? So I just learned to try, you know, and then also have a good team of friends and family to encourage me to keep going, because your circle is everything, you know. So
that's so dope.
yeah.
Man, I was reading a book. It's called like The 6-Figure Barber, and so there's
I heard
by Donnie Joseph. Shout out to Donnie.
Yeah.
And he, in one of his chapters, it talks about your relationships and be intentional with your relationships.
Yeah.
And you know, just me just connected with him. You know, I was able to go to Rosarito and do some community work, and then kind of talking to like these multi-millionaires that are doing sort of big things, you know, and,
Right.
and that not in necessarily the barber industry, but just in general, you know. And so, like, that's dope that you said like your circle of people, man, is important, because like you only could go as far as your circle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're around people that are out drinking all day and smoking and doing whatever, that's what you're going to become
Right.
as an individual.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're around individuals that are doing better than you, and you know, I'm not saying like if they make $1 million that you're going to make $1 million,
Right.
but
You can get close.
You can get close to making that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so I think that's important, man. That especially for I think the younger generation, that they hear something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know we were young at one point. We were in our 20s.
Yeah.
And I know for myself, you know, I was around people that weren't doing way too much, no productivity in their life. And so that can kind of prolong like where you want to go in the future. And you start hitting your 30s and your 40s, you start realizing like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Like, where do I want to go? Like, what is like the next chapter?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so that's important, bro.
Right.
You know? As far as marketing
Mm-hmm.
and advertisement, like how do you market the shop? Because people might not know like which way to go with that. You know, what are your marketing and advertisement avenues that you do for your business?
It's pretty easy. I keep it simple. I've been doing it for years. You know, I do believe in keeping some business cards on you.
Okay.
A lot
Old
of
school. Yeah.
Old school, man.
Old school.
And a lot of these younger barbers, they don't believe in that stuff, because now they have the gift of social media to keep all that compact into one area. But it's like, I tell younger barbers all the time, what if it comes to the point where they just shut down your page, and you don't have that connection, you know? What are you going to do, you know? And then a lot of young barbers, they look at it as, oh, I'm saving money if I don't get business cards. You should always have some business cards. I feel like you should have every little avenue to build your business. So get out, do it old school and get out on those streets. Because I remember at one time when I first started, I used to sit in my chair all day, bro. Frustrated, mad, pissed off,
upset.
You could stay. Man, I don't know why I brought that up. But you wait 8 hours and then you leave frustrated, and then a barber call you like, hey, somebody just came in.
Right.
So until I learned, like, you got to get on them streets and hustle. Because at the time, we didn't have social media like we have now. You know, we had MySpace, you know.
Right.
And MySpace wasn't like it.
I don't even know how to advertise on MySpace, right? Like
yeah. So, like I said, I give people my process. You got to keep some business cards on you. You got to always continue to do good quality work. You know, just because you give people your card or people know about you as far as advertisement and marketing, you still got to give them quality. You know, and with that quality, you have to have consistency. And a lot of barbers don't have that.
Right.
And that's where we gain a lot of our business from. Is that barber went in and he got got that crispy, and then the next time he went, he didn't look the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where we rebound. You know, so yes, it's pretty simple, bro. Like I've never done a TV commercial or anything. I've never done radio shout outs or anything like that, you know, besides maybe being on the news once or twice. But as far as that, like I said, go back to is just having integrity and trying to keep a good, clean environment that's good for everybody, you know, goes a long way, you know. So even with our reviews, you know, the best advertisement is when people talk about you. So
word of mouth. Basically.
Word of mouth is everything.
It is.
That's probably like top priority, but you have to put in your work first before people can talk about you. So you gotta get on that pavement, because you want the walk-ins when you don't have business, but they come in ever so often. You know, a lot of barbers, they go to these different barbershops based off of who's popular and all that, thinking that they're gonna get business from walk-ins and stuff, but those walk-ins are the barbershops, honestly, bro. You know, build your own organic business and get people to know about you, because you are the business. You're the business in somebody else's business. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's good.
Yeah.
We can stay on that for a couple more minutes. Like,
okay.
It's I like what you said, man. Like, you got to get out there and be your own business.
You are the business.
With business with inside a business, right? Organically. Like, a lot of times when you try to go somewhere and you feel like, you know what, this thing is popping, like the facade of what a barbershop's supposed to be, you get inside there and you can be disappointed.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily like the shop. It's not going to have walk-ins, but these walk-ins are going for a specific person as well. The people that are out there on the pavement, that are grinding, and that are, like you said, passing out their business cards. And so social media can be a facade as well. Like you could look at something on social media and think that it is something that you want, but it's actually might be nothing that you want at all.
Right.
You know? And
right.
So you might get there and be like hella disappointed and be like, man, this ain't what it is on social media. Right? Just like you go to McDonald's, they show that nice juicy burger.
Yeah.
It's not. It's juicy, and then the tomatoes are fresh right out the garden.
Yeah.
And what do you get when you unwrap that thing?
They don't look the same.
They don't look the same.
Nah.
And so, that's a key thing I think to this industry, fam. Is like you gotta do your own journey. You gotta do your own hustle and grind. Like that's how you're gonna sustain.
Right.
Right. We just did a 2-year pandemic, and I was able, like myself, as a barber, to sustain that because I did my hustle and grinding for a year and a half, and I was able to sustain that over the last 17 years. And so I have a foundation.
Right.
Right. So I'm on the strong foundation. Like if an earthquake or a tornado or a hurricane hits it, like I'm still going to be standing.
Going to be standing, yeah.
Where some people's foundation is on sand.
Right.
You know, and we're not saying like, hey, don't. You can sit around all day and just wait on a barbershop to feed you, but I think that, like you said, these are the barbershop's clients. So when you leave as a barber, they're going to continue to go to a barbershop. It's not the fact that you're not a good barber.
Right.
It's the fact that they love the establishment and the environment that they come to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that's good, man. So like if you, like Steve was saying, like if you're beginning or you've been in the game for a little bit,
yeah,
trust me, like get some business cards.
Get some business cards.
Get some business cards. If you don't have business cards, you can't afford business cards, then like get the client's name or talk to a client, right? Like get their information,
right.
Like start a text thread with them.
Exactly.
And then build up your own profile through your clientele so you have that relationship and rapport. So when you do build your clients and you want to start your own barbershop, like you'll have your own network with inside itself.
Right. I think another thing that helped us too is getting on that online booking. So with the online booking, you build an email list. So with that email list, you can send out email blasts. So that's your marketing right there. You know, and then you can advertise on there if you're having, you know, certain deals, or even if you're having an event or something, it'll send those blasts. So I'm pretty sure you know about that. Other barbers are starting to use that, but you got to use that to your advantage too, because that can help build your clientele. Like when we first started, we would do $10 haircuts, right? right. But then we was giving deals on that $10 haircut. So hey, if you bring somebody such and such to the shop or whatever, we'll give you this haircut for free or something like that. We were just that hungry and desperate to build and to really show that we are the barbers. You know what I'm saying? We can cut too, because when you first start off, you got to show that you get what you can do, you know, because people don't trust in you at first, you know. Even a barber that's waiting on a client or waiting on clients to come in, the walk-in doesn't mean that they're gonna just go to that client or to that barber. It doesn't mean
that's true.
It doesn't mean that, you know. Just because you're sitting down, you're ready, doesn't mean that person's gonna go to you. Because a lot of times they be like, they see you sitting, they're gonna be like, oh, does he know how to cut?
Right, exactly.
Right. And now if you don't have the belief in yourself and the that gut and that hustle to be like, yo, come to my chair, and you have other barbers speaking for you, most likely they're gonna go out that door. And I know you've seen it a ton of times.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Right.
And at the confidence level of a barber needs, like you said, needs to be there, and your portfolio needs to be there as well. You know, like if a client is like, you know what, can you cut? It would be good for you to have something where you can show them that you can cut. And like you said, and in your profile should be your confidence to that client, and that client can look and be like, oh, okay, because you got to build confidence within inside that client. Your confidence got to transfer to that client. You know what I mean? Like that energy has to transfer over.
Right.
Because if you're timid, that client's gonna be timid as well.
That's a big word. You said it, energy.
You know?
Yeah, like, I see a lot of barbers that are trying to build. They have no energy, man. Like they'll come in and they be like, "Hey, you cutting?" And they be like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? Kind of just real timid because they're not sure in themselves. You know, you got to be really sure. Because I used to be like that. You know, and a client come in and I'm like, yeah, I'm mellow. Right. That's because you're just insecure. You know, because other barbers are cutting in the shop, and then you're the only one sitting. But you got to have that same lion in you. You know, like, hey, I'm here to get it. I'm just taking a break right now, you know? So that all draws into your marketing, your advertisement of yourself. Because like I said, you're the business. You're the business within a business. So you got to advertise you, who you are.
Man, good stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. Not good stuff. About to get out of here, wrap this up, man. So, but I do a fun facts portion of the interview. And, I like to give a little fun facts so people might not know stuff about Steve that,
Okay.
you want to give out there. So I have like 2 questions for you. So you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Fun facts. Question number 1. You a sneakerhead?
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your favorite sneaker of all time?
What I should say this. What do I have more of?
All right. Yeah. What do you have?
I love the retro ones.
Okay.
So
Every colorway, it doesn't matter what breads, universities.
any colorway.
Any colorway. Okay.
If I can afford it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
okay.
wear any retro one.
Okay.
Because it's easy to wear, it's light, they're real comfortable in the barbershop.
Yeah.
So yeah, retro ones. If I had to choose one shoe, yeah.
One shoe.
Uh-huh.
Retro ones.
Yeah, retro ones.
Okay. And then, if you could fly, where would you go?
If I can fly.
Yeah.
Me personally flying?
You personally flying, bro. If you could fly, where would you go in the world?
Man, I guess I'll go. Whew, there's a lot of places, man.
What would be your top? What are your top 3?
My top 3.
Yeah.
I want to go to Hawaii, first of all. So I'll fly to Hawaii.
All right. All right.
Let's. I want to go Jamaica.
Okay.
Never been there, and I definitely got to go to Africa.
Yes. My people. Yes.
I got to go see the motherland.
Yes.
Yeah.
If for me, if I could fly, I'd go to Africa, man. I'll go to every country.
Mm-hmm.
And just introduce myself as Kthebarber.
Right.
Like,
right.
just get myself out there, man. But this has been an enjoyable experience, fam. Like, I really appreciate you. You know what I mean? Taking your time out, man. I know you had stuff to do today. You canceled it
Yes, sir.
for me and my crew. And, like I said earlier, fam, I've been seeing you, from here, and you just continue to elevate yourself to the next level, man. I know, like, with the Dope Barber Brand and your academies and your barbershop, you're going to continue to do big things in San Diego, man. And then hopefully, we can leave San Diego and we can go another city and continue to grow and multiply and just continue to do big things, because we don't have to be stuck here. The sky's the limit, especially with a brand,
Mm-hmm.
and you take that brand, man, and continue to grow it and multiply it. And I can't wait to see you, on the billboard somewhere doing some big things,
I can
fam.
see it, man.
And that's for sure. So, where can people find you on Instagram, or like what's your, where can people purchase the Barber Brand?
My Instagram is Cali CALI _clean CLEAN. That's my personal. And then Dope Barber Brand is the brand. If you want to support, we're going to be dropping in May. Dope Barber Brand. Yeah, that's what's up.
For this dope interview with the owner of the Dope Barber Brand, Steve Gray, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm Cahill. If you like this podcast, you like this interview, please press the subscribe button, and just follow us, man, for these conversations that we continue to have with different entrepreneurs and just different business owners that are in San Diego interviewing this industry, man. I'm Cahill Bryant. I'm out.